Welcome back to the channel, lads. It's episode 40 of our Blackburn Rovers career mode and season finale of our third season here at Blackburn Rovers. In the previous episode, we lost the FA Cup finals to Liverpool, which was unfortunate. We did go on, though, to win the Europa League against Dynamo Kiev, and what a game that was. Going 2-0 up in the first half, getting level to 2-2, and Tyrese Dolan getting the last-minute winner just before the end of the game. What a feeling it was. But we have got to quickly forget about that now, as we have got some massive games here to end the Premier League season. We are 2 points above Manchester City. We have got 2 games to play, and we have got a game in hand on Manchester City. And that means a game here, a win here in our next game against Aston Villa secures us the Premier League title. Whilst I would love to do it against Villa, and that means we can relax in the final game of the season, give some farewells to players that are not going to be here next season. That would be fantastic for us. But then again, at the same time, going into the final game of the season to decide the league winners, that on its own is another excitement, isn't it? Whilst we're talking about what could be an exciting season actually, it's already an exciting season, but it could be even better. But there are teams that are not going to be happy come the end of this season. The likes of Leeds United, one of those, already relegated. Wolves, still something to play for. Actually, they're not relegated just yet. The 6 points, they've only got a game, not 6 points. Wolves, Leeds United are already relegated, but the likes of Burnley and Bournemouth and Wolves go into the final game of the season, fighting for survival in the Premier League. Everton have only played 36 games. Of course, Everton is our final game of the season. I'd love to get the job done here at home against Villa, and it gives us one less thing to worry about going into the final game of the season. But Villa are a tough side. You cannot take them for granted, as Flamingo starts in that right-back position for us. He hasn't played in the last couple of games, and I felt like he should start this one. Leonard and Nene are 2 strikers, though, with Bonny and Tyrese Dolan struggling for fitness in the last couple of games, the cup finals, but I've managed to rotate them. And I tell you what, both players have really stepped up in our last couple of games. But let's get into this one. It's been a while, but I don't forget. The last couple of seasons, we've gone on to compete quite well against them. But Aston Villa were, I think, our first or second Premier League team that we faced in this series back in our championship days. I forgot to press the square button just so we can see the Aston Villa starting 11. We do know they're a good side, though. Like I said, over the last couple of seasons, we've gone on to achieve a lot more than them. Thinking about it, our first season in the championship, they would have been playing Champions League football. Last season, they didn't do too well, finishing in the bottom half of the league. I'm not exactly sure where they are at this stage this season, but I don't think they are in any danger of getting relegation or anything like that. They're too good of a team to get relegated. Morgan Gibbs-White will turn and find space, but that is straightforward for the goalkeeper, who tips it away for a corner. Winning this game, of course, wins us the Premier League title, which it's a massive achievement for us, isn't it? It is a big achievement. As I've said earlier on, it's something that somehow we have managed to fast track this. I expected us to be competing for the Premier League at some point with this team. I thought the seasons after seasons, when we build a team, we will eventually get to this stage. But to only take us 3 seasons and 2 in the Premier League as well, losing possession there, dangerous position. Boniface driving forward. I thought he was going to take a knee there, hence the slight tackle, but he's decided to wait for his teammate to support him. Carter is injured for some reason. I'm not sure how he got himself injured, Carter. But what a big chance there for Villa. He should be scoring there, shouldn't he? He should be scoring from that position there. Reminder there of the league table again, the top 3 there. We are 2 points above Manchester City. And once again, a win here secures us the Premier League title. Walter Berger trying to go back to Daniel. We give possession away. Daniel wins it back. Daniel on his left foot. Oh, wow. And it's Harry Leonard. I've decided to start with Leonard and Nene for this game, purely because, both Bonny and Tyrese Dolan, I've basically ran them into the ground. the last few games. No energy at all to start this one. But it doesn't matter because one of those strikers, one of our own, Harry Leonard, might be the player that have scored the goal to secure us the Premier League title this season. Long way to go, of course, but it's an easy tap-in, similar to the chance Aston Villa had earlier on, which they did not convert from. I mean, this is a much easier one, I've got to say, but still, good finish. Foul to Berger, inside to Diamonde, out wide to Lund Hansen. He's provided us the width ever since we signed him. He does it so well as well. Back on the inside. Oh, they've let him go. They have let him go. Morgan Gibbs-White, you cannot afford to give him that much chances or that much space in front of him. We know he's technically, from this long-range effort, he's just too good. This is an easy game for us. More easy than I thought it was going to be, considering we don't have our starting strikers in this game. But Morgan Gibbs-White, what a hit, son. Look at that. And we are 2-0 up, just like that. It could be 3-4 if Villa continues like this, you know. Like, I'm feeling so confident in this game, how poor Villa are playing right now. And Jaden, Philogene, Didas driving forward to Ross Barkley. He's got space. He scored a similar goal to this against us in the past. Ross Barkley is one of those players that you cannot allow to find spaces to be able to pull the trigger like that. At the right place at the right time there. Who's that centre back? I'm not quite sure. Who's just dispossessed the ball there. I'm not sure who it is, but lovely there, being at the right place at the right time. But we go into the break and 2-0 up in the first half. Quite comfortable, I've got to say. Got a feeling we will score 3 here, or maybe 4 if this game continues like this. Daniel has made a good run. Leonard, that was not the pass that I was aiming for, but Leonard keeps possession for us. Daniel, Morgan Gibbs-White, the shot's blocked. Every single space that I find with him, closer to the edge of the box like that, I just want to shoot. He's that good. How many long-range efforts he's scored for us this season? I've lost count. I would like a compilation out there of his stunning goals for us this season. Substitutions of our own. We've made a lot there. 5 substitutions. This is just rotating the team, you know. We're winning this game. We'll go on to win the league if it finished like this. It's more, you know, we don't want to get anyone injured at this stage of the season that would stop them from maybe starting next season for us. As much as we've been strong this season, we want to try and repeat next season. It's Hannibal Mejbri, the second half substitute to Cantwell. Outside to Diamonde, here's the space for Lund Hansen. He's going to drive forward here, and it's too easy. He's pulled back to Tyrese Dolan. Oh, going for the far corner there, Dolan. I think he scored 17 goals in the Premier League this season, which is incredible. It would be nice to add to that. On Diamonde, you've got to win that one. There you go. As soon as you push the ball forward like that, he's so quick, by the way. He's so quick. He covers so much ground. Diamonde. Tyrese Dolan will turn. Tyrese Dolan with the finish. And he makes it 19 or 18 goals in the Premier League, I should say. And what a goal. I told you, we were always going to score that 3rd or maybe 4th in this game. That's how easy Aston Villa have made the game for us. They are a good side. They've got some good players in this team, you know. They've got some really, really good players. But for some reason, they haven't shown it in this game. Maybe because the season is over for them. There's nothing for them to go on and compete for. Like I said, I don't think they're in any danger of getting relegated. It's Boniface driving forward. Any goal here would only be a consolidation goal for them. Oh, we win the ball back only to give it away. But Flamingo, who's been solid for us all season. What a signing, by the way. What a signing. And honestly, I would not be surprised if he gets into the team of the season as the players run onto the pitch and we will see them lift the Premier League title. I mean, given that we were 2 points above City with 2 games to go, although I was a little bit nervous, I was also pretty much sure that we weren't going to lose the next two games against Aston Villa and Everton. We were always going to win one of those games. I didn't think it was going to be Aston Villa. I thought it was going to be our last game of the season against Everton. But this makes it easier for us because we don't have to worry too much about the next game now. And Carter would lift the second title of the season, the second trophy our captain is going to lift. I'm not sure why the Premier League title is just holding itself on the air there, which is incredible to see. The positive thing, though, is last season when we won the FA Cup, they gave us the Premier League. But when we have won the title this season, they have given us the correct trophy, which is good to see. That's something that has probably been fixed in the game now. That bug was annoying me, you know. But Carter lifts the title there, and we celebrate our second title of this series. We won the FA Cup last season. We won the Premier League this season. And actually, our third, because we've won the Europa League as well. I completely forgot about that. But I'm not counting the championship, like I said. Although we won the championship, and we've also won the Community Shield. But I'm not going to count both of those as a significant trophy for us. But 3 to go. Can we go on to win more next season? What a fantastic team this team is becoming. With the Premier League done and pretty much nothing to play for other than maximum points that we can pick up in a season, I'm not about that. I'm really not about that. I would rather give players their farewell here in front of the home fans. Players that might not play for us next season again, moving forward. Players that have been fantastic servants for us in the last 3 seasons here at Ewood Park at Blackburn Rovers. I would much rather give them their farewell here. But in terms of teams that have been relegated, it will be Wolverhampton Wanderers, Bournemouth, and Leeds United. All 3 of those teams will be playing championship football next season. It'll be interesting, though, to see the teams that have been promoted back to the Premier League. Of course, you've got ourselves and the league winners, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, completing the top 4 there, Champions League football next season. I'm interested in knowing as well the fact that we won the Europa League. Does that mean 5 teams from the Premier League would get Champions League football, or does that mean 3 teams, just the top 3, as it happened to us last season when Chelsea finished in the Europa League? But then again, Chelsea never finished in the top 4, did they? They finished outside the top 4 and won the Europa League. I'd love to see Brighton get Champions League football for next season, But the likes of West Ham, Europa League, Manchester United, possibly Europa League, or maybe Conference League for next season. They did us a huge favor, didn't they? They're one of the reasons that we've won the league and taken all 3 points against Manchester City in the Manchester derby, which was a fantastic result for us. But the likes of Rankin Costello will start this game. I'm not going to give him a new contract. I think we've already made that decision long time ago that he's not going to be getting a new contract. He will be joining Werder Bremen on a free next season. The likes of Piers as well in goal starts this game. This could well be his last game at Blackburn Rovers. He's been a fantastic servant for us, similar to Todd Cantwell in that number 10 position. This might well be his last game in the Blackburn Rovers shed. Buckley as well in midfield, a player that I haven't made a decision on what I want to do with him just yet, as we all know how much I loved John Buckley. We might well let him go at the end of the season. What I don't want to do is lose the whole identity from the team that we started here at Blackburn Rovers. I would like to keep at least a handful of them if we can, but we will see what happens going into the next season. So far, the most disappointing thing about this team, I think disappointing is a harsh word, to be honest. What I would do better is, and we've still got next season to try and do that, by the way, is to have 1 or 2 youth academy players play a lot of games for this team. I mean, we saw it in our second season in the Premier League. We saw the likes of Crawford play a few games here and there, but ultimately ended up going out on loan, and he's been on loan as well this season. He's grown quite well, I've got to say. We've got the left back, Ethan Carney, who's grown quite well, and Doran, the centre back, has grown quite well as well. We could see all 3 of those players play some parts to this team next season. Everton starting 11 there. Idrissa Gana Gay is retiring. I was about to say he's relegated at the end of this season, but he's retiring at the end of this season, so that could add more decent region for a central defensive midfielder to the game. It's something that I might try and search for. He's a player that his overall was quite high, isn't he? At least 84, 85 at his peak on the game. I don't know if he got any better than that, maybe at his PSV days. Oh, trying to go over the top there, but well dealt with. Everton keeps possession. And he will match Bree to Todd's Cantwell. But yeah, going back to the youth academy thing that I was talking about, and the likes of Ethan Carney, Crawford, and Doran, the young centre back, they will get chances next season. We will try and do that a little bit more. Like I said, if I was to, try and change anything to the career mode, that's something that I would have liked to do a little bit more. Oh, well pressed there. The high press is on. Tyrese Dolan win possession back. Not too many bodies in the box for him. Todd Cantwell, we need runners, but we're not getting it right now. We're not getting the runners in front of us as we lose possession again. Everton on the break. Doucouré, Calvert-Lewin. It's going to go back, isn't he? Everton are not looking like they want to score in this game. Although, as I say that, massive space open for them to run into. But the shot's been blocked. They're going to get themselves a corner here. They don't look like they're going to score in this game. Every time they get themselves in promising position, like we saw with Calvert-Lewin there, he just turns around and go back, which is strange. But header one, Tyrese Dolan has done so well to keep possession for us there. On the break, so Cantwell driving forward. Are we going to get runners in front of him, buying his time? He's gone out wide to Harrison Burrows, who starts this one on the left back position. Little pull back here to Tyrese Dolan. Oh, he's been closed down, hasn't he? He's been closed down. Maybe not. Buckley to Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White! Oh my God, he's sensational. He's sensational with this long range efforts, long range finishing. Part of how we create chances is to take the ball out wide, move it from side to side, and try to create a little bit of space like this in midfield. For the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White, it could be Diamonde, it could be Wouter Berger, it could be Daniel, and just waiting outside the box there for this type of opportunity. They can be difficult to execute, but when you've got players capable of doing it, it's so fun. It's Irabunim driving forward, Doucouré, possession, one back. Considering the amount of changes we made in this game, right? Everton haven't done too much to trouble us here. Oh my God. Oh my God. This could be the second, and that could be the second. As Tyrese Dolan gets his 19th Premier League goal of the season. Could he make it 20? I would like for him to make it 20. Although he's exceeded all expectations, scoring 19 goals in the Premier League. It's incredible. I did not expect him to get this many goals this season. But he's one of those players as well that he's never been injured for us. He's fit seasons after seasons. He plays so many games, but he's never injured. It's good to have players like that, isn't it? It's good to have players like Tyrese Dolan in your team, players that will play so many games for you, not injury prone at all. A lot of players have picked up injuries throughout the course of this save, but Tyrese Dolan is not one of them, as he was close to getting his 20th Premier League goal of the season there, saved by the Everton goalkeeper. I'm not quite sure who is in goal for Everton, but he's actually done quite well in this game. Otherwise, this could have been 3, 4, 5 maybe. We've had so many chances here, man. There's Doucouré. We're going to have to make some substitutes a little bit. Shortly, Calvert-Lewin with a big opportunity. They haven't had many in this game. The first one falls to Calvert-Lewin. He could not execute though. Doucouré taken off. He'll be replaced by Mkhitaryan. Substitutions, Dolan, Cantwell all being replaced. Petr, the youth academy player, coming on to the pitch here. I don't think he's a player that will have, considering he's only 67 rated, I don't think he would play any part or have any future with this team anytime soon. And yeah, it's just wanting to see what he's all about. That's the reason I've brought him on. Plus, I've made that many changes anyway. We might as well give him a game. Good defending, cross to the far post is offside anyway. You know what though? How comfortable this season have been, right? I didn't expect that. I mean, we've picked up, this would be, if we win this game, 88 points this season. I mean, on a normal season, Everton have pulled one back there. Is it Calvert-Lewin? No, it's Mkhitaryan, the substitution that replaced Doucouré earlier on in the game. I mean, if we've got 88 points as it is right now, right? On a normal season, either Manchester City or Liverpool or Arsenal, one of those teams will be so close to that, or even more than that, getting into your 90s, closer to 100 points. But of course, that's not been the case this season. As good as we have been, we've almost sort of taken advantage of your other top four, not sort of playing to their best this season. Everton could get an equaliser here, which would be a shame for Flamingo yet again. It's been solid for us, as I said in the last game, and I would not be surprised at all if he makes it into the team of the season. I did not expect him to play this many games at the start of the season, but Koulibaly getting injured for 3 months, that meant he's played a lot more than I expected him to play. And to be honest, he did step up. Him and Carter, they both did step up when Koulibaly picked up that injury. But I've said all I have to say about that man. Um, oh my God, Morgan Gibbs-White. I forgot his name for a second there, but he's been superb for us all season. And once again, playing an important role to this victory. We will spend the next few seconds here watching the title or the trophy parade for this team. This is one of the features that I like that have been added to the team. I think it was added on last year's game, and they have kept it this year as well. They could make some improvement. They could definitely make some improvement, but it is a good feature that have been added to the team. We won 2 trophies, and you see the team, the squad, parading with those 2 trophies in the city. The annoying thing is all the cities look exactly the same, doesn't it? Doesn't matter which team you use, it's exactly the same. That's one of the things that could be better, but it is what it is. As we always do at the end of every season, let's take a look at some of the best performers in the Premier League, teams that have been promoted, teams that have been relegated, and of course, teams that have won their various domestic competitions, starting from the Premier League top scorer. You've got Rodrigo on 23 goals there, Doku, Nunes, and Solomon, all in the top 5 there. Bruno Fernandes as well, 19 Premier League goals. Tyrese Dolan ended up the season with 19 Premier League goals, which is insane. Albert Goodmanson, Alexander Isak, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland finished the season with 17 goals in the top 10. Considering he missed the first 2-3 months or so of the season, that is an actually really good return for him. I mean, we know he's a goal scorer. We know that's what he does. He's an absolute monster in front of goal. But yes, he did miss the first few months with his Achilles injury from last season. But assists, you've got Morgan Gibbs-White absolutely running away with that. 17 assists. Isak, 13. Frankie de Jong and Nuno Mendes with 12 assists. That's a really good return for the left back. Phil Foden in there. Victor Gyökeres and Cole Palmer on 9 assists. Tyrese Dolan, 19 Premier League goals and 8 assists. That is an insane season for him. And Gabriel Jesus in there as well. Clean sheets, Oblak just edged it on 18 assists there. Gavin Bazunu not far away on 17 assists, but he did play 2 less games than Oblak. Imagine if we played Bazunu in the final game against Everton and he went on to keep or 1 more clean sheets. That would have meant level on clean sheets with Oblak. But anyway, there's no regrets there at all. 17 clean sheets in 35 games for him. That is an unbelievable season. Let's take a look here if we can quickly have a look at the Premier League team of the season. Oh wow, 17 assists, 37 games, 9 goals for Morgan Gibbs-White. I'm not sure who to pick between him, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Tyrese Dolan for our player of the season, but both players have had an insane season, let's be honest. Really, really good for us this season, both players. I'll just think Tyrese Dolan just edges it slightly. I think in the important moments and the big games for us. Don't get me wrong, Morgan Gibbs White turned up in the big games as well, but I think Tyrese Dolan just had that little bit magic to him this season, which is really, really good. But Bazunu, the goalkeeper in the team of the season there, rather than Oblak, which it's strange because Oblak kept the most clean sheet. But Flamingo in there, you've got Morgan Gibbs White, Dumonde, and Tyrese Dolan, three players in that midfield. We've got five players in the team of the Premier League season. What a season we've had, though. We won the Premier League. I'm not quite sure by how many points at the end, but it felt like more than 5 points or so that we won the Premier League by, which it's just crazy for Blackburn Rovers to go on and achieve something like that. Very quickly, let's take a look. Player of the season, Darwin Núñez. He was in the top 10 or top 5 in terms of goals and assists. So, I mean, you can't argue with that. To be honest, I think Tyrese Dolan maybe deserves it a little bit more, but you can't argue with giving it to Darwin Núñez. He had a really good season as well for Brighton. I'm not sure at what stage he joined Brighton during the season. Was it at the start or during the January transfer window? I'm not 100% sure there. To finish the season, 8 points clear of Manchester City, by the way. That is just insane. This is one of those Leicester City's moments that probably would never happen again. I mean, the fact that we have won the Premier League, we have won the FA Cup. I don't know how long you want me to carry on with this, but for me, going into next season, it'll probably be the last dance for us next season. We've won the Premier League, we've won the FA Cup. There's nothing else to do there. We could go on to try and win the Champions League next season, which is going to be ridiculously difficult, right? But I don't think there's not much more to achieve with this team now, other than going on to win the Champions League, and if there is a Club World Cup in the game, going on to win the Club World Cup, like that, things like that, and that would mean everything achieved. Yes, we haven't won the Carabao Cup, but who pays? Not many people pay significant sort of attention to the Carabao Cup. But going into next season, it'll probably be the final season of this series, unless you want me to continue. Otherwise, I'll try and do something else, whether that's moving club in the same save or starting a brand new career mode. I will decide that at the end of next season. But we've almost done it all, other than the Champions League. It'll be our first season in Champions League as well next season. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one. But we won the league. City finishing second, Liverpool and Chelsea finishing in the top 4. You've got Brighton, West Ham, Manchester United, Newcastle, and Tottenham. Brentford finishing the top 10 as well, which is good for them. Leeds United relegated, Bournemouth relegated, Wolverhampton Wanderers relegated, and the likes of Burnley and Fulham just surviving. Everton stayed up quite comfortably, and 7 points clear of the relegation places. Aston Villa and Arsenal finishing in the bottom half of the Premier League. That is a bad season for Arsenal standards. Last season, they finished second or third, and then to finish bottom half of the season, the next season, that is an incredible drop, isn't it? Let's take a look at some of the other leagues very quickly. Of course, the bigger sort of leagues we take a look at. Let's start with the Championship here. And Nottingham Forest promoted, Luton Town promoted, and we will still need to find out from the likes of Ipswich, Southampton, Bristol, and Watford who will qualify from the playoffs. But Nottingham Forest and Luton Town back to the Premier League next season, relegated from the Championship. You have got Bolton, Peterborough, and you have got Queen's Park Rangers. The League One, you've got Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield promoted back to the Championship, and the likes of Stevenage, Charlton, Portsmouth, Wigan, and Wycombe Wanderers, who they got into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, didn't they? Wycombe, I think they lost to Everton in the quarterfinals. So they've had a really good season domestically for them. And let's take a look. The Bundesliga, where are the other? Yeah, the Bundesliga. You have got Borussia Dortmund's surprise winners, Leverkusen finishing second, Leipzig in third, and Bayern Munich just about getting the final. I said just about. It was quite comfortable for them at the end, and they finished what? How many points? They finished 7 points above Stuttgart, who finished in fifth. So it's comfortable for them finishing in the top four. But of course, you always expect Bayern to go on to win the league. That's not the case. Juventus, AC Milan, Roma, and who is the fourth team there? I'm not sure. But Juventus winning the league is not a surprise. Where is Inter Milan though? That is a surprise. It doesn't look like Inter Milan are in the top four there, unless that Lombardia FC is Inter Milan, which I'm not too sure about. Eredivisie, you've got PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, and AZ Alkmaar finishing in the top four in the Dutch league. Is there any other competition that we're missing out on? The Portuguese league, Benfica champions, Sporting Lisbon, Braga, Porto finishing fourth. That is a little bit of a surprise. You'll always expect Porto in the top two or the top three at least in the Portuguese league. The Scottish league, you've got Rangers top of the league. You've got Celtic in second, Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibernian in fifth position there. And finally, we have got the Spanish league. That is the Spanish second division. Let's take a look at the Spanish league. Real Madrid champions, 100 points. Oh my God, 15 points clear of Barcelona in second place. Atletico Madrid in third, and Atletico Bilbao in fourth. You've got Villarreal, Valencia, Sevilla, Espanyol, Osasuna, and Celta Vigo finishing in the top 10 there in the Spanish league. I suppose there's only one league that I'm missing out here, which of course is the French league, PSV. Probably PSG, I should say, would probably end up as champions in that league. You know what? I can't find the league, not to bother. The final thing that we're going to take a look at before finishing the episode here is some of the individual performances for this team in terms of goals and assists for the squad. Of course, let's take a look. In terms of appearances, Nene made 61 appearances, the most in the team, the most in the football club. Morgan Gibbs-White, 57. Wouter Berger, Tyrese Dolan, Diamonde, Flamingo, Bonnie, and you'd expect those players there sort of to make those amounts of appearances, wouldn't you? Nene, though, is a surprise to have played the most games this season. Tyrese Dolan finished the season with 28 goals and 14 assists in all competition. Bonnie, 24 goals and 5 assists. When we signed him, the objective for him was to get 20 goals for us this season. We needed a striker who could do that, and we got that. Tyrese Dolan surprised me a little bit, though. Yes, seasons after seasons, he's scored a lot of goals and assists for us, but to almost hit 20 goals in the Premier League, I did not expect that. And 28 and 14 assists in all competition, that is massive. Nene managed to pick himself 22 goals and 8 assists. Morgan Gibbs-White, 18 goals and 24 assists in all competition. That is just insane. Harry Leonard didn't play too much, but he did manage to pick up 10 goals and 7 assists. So Cantwell, this might be his final season, 7 goals and 7 assists. Daniel, 5 goals and 7 assists. Hannibal Mejbri picked up 4 goals, even though we only brought him in at the back end of the January transfer window. But Diamonde, 9 assists in all competitions, 7 in the league, and he's got 3 goals in the Premier League. Quite underrated in terms of his goal contribution. Of course, as I've explained, that's not what he's all about. But to see him getting the goals and assists and added to what he does best for us, that is fantastic to see. In terms of the team, in terms of the squad, I'm not sure where to strengthen from here. Certainly in defense next season, I mean, one of the positions that we want to strengthen is that right back position, and potentially one more centre back. Maybe bring in one more striker next season. What we want to try and achieve next season is have as many players in the team that are 80 plus rated. We're not far away right now, you know. We're really, really not far away. You know, Wouter Berger, I mean, if you look at that starting 11 right now, the midfield and attack, everyone is at least 80 rated. Defense needs a bit of an improvement. Goalkeeper, we've got a solid goalkeeper in Bazunu. Maybe we could bring in a backup, and Piers have been a fantastic servant for us, but he's 72 rated now. We might just need a little bit better as a backup. But smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed this. And of course, if you've enjoyed the season as well, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and I'll see you all in the next one.